Hello everyone, and welcome back to my Skyrim Ranking Things series. Today, we are doing Dragon Priest Masks. This was recommended to me months ago by a viewer, and I said I was gonna do it soon, but it's been months, so I apologize if that was you. I'm finally doing it. I've just had so many ideas that, I had to push this one back. But today we're gonna be ranking every Dragon Priest mask from 0 to 10. Normally, I would do a video discussing which one is the best, but today I'm going to decide, I'm going to lay them all out for you and allow you to decide. So at the top of the list, according to the wiki, we have Miraak. This one is a heavy armor one, which grants the immunity to disease and poison. I think that's actually so stupid, because just be Argonian. Right? Argonians are immune to disease and poison, and I believe Wood Elves are half immune to disease and poison. I just think it's kind of a funny one. This is obviously a 0 out of 10. It's very bad. Next up we have Croesus. I usually get Croesus first for some reason. This one's a light armor mask, and you get this one at Sheer Point. By the way, Miraak you get at Valthum. Anyways, Croesus you get at Sheer Point, and it gives you a plus 20% to lockpicking, archery, and alchemy. I actually like that. It's like a great mask for thief players, which I think, it's interesting. Most thief players would rather wear a hood, but instead you could wear a mask. I think it's kind of cool. Lockpicking is useful if you're not as good as me. I'm a pro, I can open 20 master locks with one lockpick. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. The archery and alchemy is also useful in their own respective rights. So I'm gonna have to say this is a solid 6 out of 10. This is above average, guys. Next up is Miraak. Miraak you get in Labyrinthian. It's also light armor. And this one is very simple. Plus 100% Magicka regeneration. You can't go wrong with it. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe some of the masks you can equip at the same time as a hood. I might be wrong, but if you can equip it at the same time as a hood, that's great, because you can also have like an adept hood and like adept robes. So yeah, either way, 100% faster Magicka regen is very useful. Although I find that robes usually do that for me, and the hood I would rather have be my Magicka increase. So for the fact that this would take away from the fact that I would have a hood, I would have to put this at a 4 out of 10. It's good, but it subtracts something that might be better. Anyways, next is Nakreen. Nakreen is at Skuldalfin during the end of the main quest line. This one's interesting. It's a heavy armor one. It gives you plus 50 Magicka, which is, I believe, the same as an adept hood. However, it also reduces the cost of restoration and destruction spells by 20% each. Now, that is absolutely amazing, because not only do you obviously get more Magicka, but even if you use magic in a minor sense, like not even greatly, that's immensely useful, as restoration and destruction are like the bread and butter of a mage build, right? So, Nakreen, I'm gonna have to give this an 8 out of 10. Really, really, really good. Alright, next up is Otar, which, you get at Ragnvald, I believe it's called. This one's a heavy armor one as well, and another very simple one. Plus 30% resistance to fire, frost, and shock. Basically, in other words, a 30% resistance to all magic. I think if you get this early game, then it's pretty good. I mean, the thing is, like, I don't know. I'm kind of conflicted on my opinion about that, because, like, resistance to magic is very helpful, especially against dragons and stuff. I don't know. I would say this is a 5 out of 10. It has its use. It's useful, but there's definitely better ones in my opinion. Next one is another heavy armor one, and this is incredibly simple. It's called Ragot. You get Ragot in Foilhorst, I believe the place is called. These dungeon names are very difficult to pronounce. This one just straight up, flat out, just gives you 70 plus stamina. That's it. Hey man, that's pretty solid. 70 Magicka is, 70 stamina. I mean, it's, if you're wearing a heavy armor a lot, then stamina is useful. You need more stamina. But like, I just don't feel like, I feel like stamina is always a secondary stat though, in my opinion. So I might even just say this is, even though 70 is a lot, I still might say this is like a 4 out of 10. Like just below average, Next up is Vulcan. Vulcan you get at Highgate Ruins, another heavy armor one. Most of them are heavy armor, as you can imagine. This one gives you a negative 20% cost to alteration, Conjuration, and Illusion. So Alteration, Conjuration, and Illusion cost 20% less. This one I would almost say is better than Nocturne. Well, almost, I would say, because it doesn't give you extra Magicka. Instead, it just reduces cost. However, Alteration and Conjuration, they cost a lot. Like, if you want to use Iron Flesh or, like, conjure Frost Atronach, that's expensive, and 20% reduction can amount to saving, like, upwards of 100 plus Magicka at the beginning of a fight. However, I would say it's equal to Nocturne, honestly. Vulcan is equal to Nocturne, depending on what type of mage you end up being. Right, Nocturne is good if you're a combat mage, a spell, sword, or really any mage. Vulcan is good specifically if you're a pure mage. So Vulcan, I would say 7 out of 10. Next up is Vortisung at Vortiskig. This is a light armor one, which increases your carry weight limits by 20 and gives you 20% better prices, and it gives you water breathing. So kind of a lot of different, mismatchy perks. The 20% better prices is very useful. Plus the 20% carry limit is also very useful. This one basically is like the dungeon crawler's dream. Like, if you love nothing more than just dungeon crawling, getting as much loot as you can, and then selling it for as much money as you can, this is the one for you. The water breathing thing is kind of secondary because there's not really any points of the game where you would need it, but it's there for you if you need it. Vortisung, I would say it's a nice 5 out of 10. Like, this is straight average. Like, this is definitely good, but it's not, like, the best. But it has its nice advantages, you know what I mean? Like, if it's the first one you get, then it will prove you strong, for its entire use. Next up is the Wooden Mask, which is kind of funny. You get this in the Central Barrow in Labyrinthian. It's light armor, and it literally does nothing. Its description says, the wooden mask hums with an unfamiliar energy. Wooden Mask, 11 out of 10. Fuck yeah, baby. Next up we have, we're moving on to, I think this is the last one that is mainland Skyrim. We have Kanarik, or Kanarik. So this one is if you bring the others to Janar Sanctuary. I think this is the one you get if you get all of the previous ones. I'm not sure though. Chance to heal the wearer and damage nearby enemies when health is low. And it's a heavy armor one. That's kind of mid. It has a chance to do that when your health is low. I don't know, like, I would rather have something that boosts my combat abilities and helps me win a fight, rather than something that has a chance to save me when I'm close to losing a fight, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, I mean, it has its use. I'll give it a 3 out of 10, but I just feel like I would rather have something that helps me rather than something that saves me, Anyways, moving on to the Dragonborn ones. Azadal, you get in Kolbjorn Barrow. Azadal is a heavy armor one, and it gives you a 50% resistance to fire, and every fire spell, including fire enchantments on your weapons, do 25% more damage. This one and Dukan, which you get at White Ridge Barrow. Dukan gives you a 50% resistance to frost, and frost spells and enchantments are 25% more effective, and it's also heavy armor. Azadal and Dukan are the same thing, but opposite ends of the coin. And then Zakrisos in Blood Skull Barrow is the same thing, 50% resistant to shock, and shock spells and enchantments to 25% more damage. So Zakrios, Dukan, and Azadal. All of these, I'm gonna have to give a 6.5 out of 10. You know what? I'm gonna give them a 7. I'm gonna give them a dead 7. Yeah, like, it's just useful, right? If you want to specialize in one specific class of destruction, then you take your pick, you know what I mean? It helps you be resistant, and it helps you do more damage. I couldn't see one negative among the whole thing. All of these can be a 7 out of 10. And the last, but definitely not least, is Miraak. You get this by completing the Dragonborn questline. Depending on what level you are, it will give you an increased Magicka of 40 to 70 points, depending on what level you are. That's painfully mid, in my opinion. Well, it's mid, but when you consider the fact that you're not meant to just wear the mask by itself, you're also supposed to wear the robes, which I believe give you more Magicka regen. Let me quickly just pull it up. Right, so he has the mask, he has the gloves, the robes, and the boots. The mask is 70 points of Magicka. The gloves give you 5% to Dragon Breath and Spell Absorption of the Miraak's robes. The Miraak's robes absorb 15% of the Magicka from Dragon Breath and spells, and chance on hits to spawn a Tentacle Explosion. Interesting. And the boots add an extra 5%. So, I mean, yeah, the whole Miraak thing, painfully mid. Like, it's a cute gimmick. It's very charming, but it's only good for fighting dragons. But why would you want to have a dragon-specific armor set? You know what I mean? But Miraak, I would say painfully mid. It's just 5 out of 10. 5 out of 10. You know. If you want Magicka, just go with Nacrin. You know, that's even better. Plus, it has other things. But if I had to give my biased opinion, which I've been doing a lot of this video, which one is the best total? I mean, fuck. I might even just say Nacrin is the best. I mean, nothing really else seems to compare, even though all of them seem to be very magic-oriented. I would say Nacrin is the best, plus 50 Magicka, minus 20 cost to Restoration and Destruction. Yeah, that's the best one in my opinion. Thank you all so much for watching. Yeah, make sure you guys do drop a like and drop a sub. Stay awesome as always, and peace the fuck out.